Hey guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. You guys are having a good day so far. We're gonna pull cards today, and I guess I can say that the first four cards that I saw when I was shuffling was the Judgment card, King of Cups, the Ten of Cups, and the Strength card. And then on the pre-pull, we can talk about those four cards first. First Judgment card gets you to awaken to a higher sense of awareness, to bring in lost fragments of yourself that you may have been missing in the past. Let's make sure my volume is working. Yeah, my mic's on. And then the King of Cups, right? King of Cups spreads his love. Who's this? We're not going to answer that. Spreads his love throughout the realm and lets everybody know how much they care about him. So you guys are in the King of Cups energy, and you're understanding yourself at a more tuned way, and that which brings more Ten of Cups energy into your environment. And then the Strength card, the infinite strength of understanding yourself in a more profound way. So before I get into the spread here, what I got in front of me, I can share a little bit about that. We start to understand ourselves a lot more powerfully when we understand that the things, specifically our family dynamic that we were growing up in, and it triggers us when we're younger, but it helps us understand why we got triggered, and those things that to love those things about ourselves, to practice non-reactance to the world around us, and then that creates unconditional love and seeing those things from a higher perspective and not judging whether or not it's good or bad. It's just a learning lesson on how we're able to accept ourselves, for one thing, because we have to accept our ability to trigger one another to force the organism to grow, because the organism doesn't grow unless we're triggering. If you don't have to overcome anything, then there's nothing to overcome, and you're just kind of you know, it's an understanding that the healing community comes into. Heaven is a place where each individual is uniquely their own, and we're crazy in our own way, and not penalizing ourselves for being that way, however we want to be. And when we stop penalizing each other and trying to offer something that somebody actually just doesn't need, all they need is to not seek monetary gain, but to seek heaven inside, and then project that energy into the world around them. This brings forth that Emperor energy, which is our center card. And we have the Six of Swords and the Page of Cups on either side. So we're leaving old emotional states, going to calmer waters, with the Nine of Cups and the Ace of Cups on either end. Yeah. Healthy emotional health. Healthy emotional health about the self is primary for everything else. And if you feel good about yourself, then you guys are feeling good about the people around you, because you can see it from a higher perspective. They might be People might be in different states of conflict and not happy with maybe the situation they're in or what they're doing, and all they got to do is just get into their natural creative and receptive energy. What is it that you have to create here? I can tell you what I want to create. And at first, for a long time, I can tell you from my perspective, for a long time, I was thinking negatively about what other people are doing, but everybody's very unique, and everyone's doing. People that have found their purpose, uh, maybe that purpose doesn't align with you, but it aligns with them. But our purposes change over time as we grow. So, same thing with my dad. if you watched the last video, I had so many dad moments that I wouldn't have the appreciation for my dad now if I hadn't quit my job because I wouldn't have been able to spend as much time with him. And ideally, we want to be able to spend a really good amount of time with the people that we love and then spread that love into the world around us. And sometimes our love may look a little twisted to other people because uh, we might be setting boundaries. It's like, why are you judging me? Stop judging me, man. Leave me alone. I had so much stuff. I had so many downloads this morning and the previous day. I spent a lot of time in meditation. My dad just moved to a nursing home in Seattle, so we're gonna try and get up there and make him happy. Let me know in the comments, how you guys are uh, expressing your love for the people around you, and in what way. Right? When our children are growing up, every child is different. I've raised a lot of kids, and every kid is totally different. My nieces and nephews are all really different, and I just love them to death. Each and every one of them. In each and every some of them look like just a bull in a china shop. Some of them are very quiet. Uh, some of them are able to intuitively pick up on things in their environment easier than others. And some want to just win at all costs and not go through any kind of lessons. Like my niece, uh, Caroline, I think I told this story. Maybe I didn't. I don't know. We went over on Thanksgiving and she wanted everybody to play this chess game on her iPad with her. It was an iPad thing. I don't know what exactly it was. And I played with her until I was winning. And then she started to make moves for me. And I said, I don't want to play with you if you're cheating. I want to make my own moves. And then she got totally disinterested in me because she just wanted to win. But if you don't play, if you never learn, if you don't make mistakes. So if you don't make mistakes, then you don't know how to keep moving in the right direction. I mean, you can learn a limited about with yourself, but until you start interacting with other people and playing games with other people, then you don't know how to. Um, you don't want to come out on top every time. For one thing, you want people to express themselves and come out on top for themselves. The last thing I would want is to always be in the limelight. I would rather have somebody else be in the limelight and support them most of the time, especially in a group. But it turns toxic when it becomes hierarchical and you're paying somebody more money to be something instead of somebody else. And so then everybody puts on masks and then it just turns super toxic. Then it's a bunch of false niceties and blah. Right? Then your dark side's got to come out. It's like, I'm not gonna say nice shit in this meeting because there's nothing for me nice to say about what's going on here. Right? Because it's just a control mechanism. People trying to control one another in old business hierarchical settings because people are always trying to control what somebody else is doing to make money in their pocket instead of accepting people and creating together. Where can we find a place where we're creating together? And the dichotomy is, people end up offering healing services and coaching services. But if we're all treating each other like children and saying that our time is more valuable than somebody else's just because they don't look or act a certain way that we want, then that turns toxic. Right? I can't offer you anything that you already have to offer the world. All you can do is do it for yourself and believe in yourself. And yeah, and I'd love to partner with somebody that was ready to do that. But if you feel guilty about yourself in any way, then it restricts your ability to emotionally connect with anybody because you'll always be putting on some kind of mask or feel guilty about it. And then it inhibits your intuitive expression and your creative energy to change the momentum of what's going on around you and express a healing energy for those people. So I know I'm speaking to a group of healers, so, and you guys probably already know this, but maybe you need to hear a part of this message. Uh, if you look at the last video, my dad used to like just tease the shit out of me when I was growing up, and it was because his older brothers teased the crap out of him, and just told him what to do and tried to control everything he did. And uh, it turned my dad into something that was very beneficial for me. And I learned a lot from my dad. For one thing, he's one of the most gracious, gentle human beings on the planet now. Because over the years, he had to depend on everybody to do everything for him. He couldn't do a lot of things for himself because he wasn't, he was always in his head. And so he couldn't listen to the things going on around him. And so everybody had to cook for him and clean for him and shop for him and everything. And everybody in my dad's family became a lot more patient and loving because of that, especially my grandmother. She was one of the most beautiful souls I've ever met and extremely intuitive. And I'm sure you have examples of that in your family where you can see who was forced into taking care of one another because of self-doubt and self-guilt. And that's always what it was because they didn't believe in themselves. So you have to set the right kind of boundaries and it wasn't my dad's purpose to be able to do those things for himself. It was his purpose to be able to trigger those things in us to set, especially me, to set the right boundaries so that he slowly grew over time to believe in himself and not feel guilty about the way he was or maybe his sexual discretions. You know, he likes women that you can see from space. I don't know. You know, I think the last time I talked to him, we were talking about this. I think he's got this infatuation with Mary. I think her name's Mary Bo Berry or something. Some gal that just anyway. Um, yeah. So never feel negative about yourself, especially the ways you are about yourself right now, because it'll change over time the more you understand yourself. And the judgment card that I saw was the first card came out in the deck. So just a short message for you guys today, short little channeled message. And yeah, catch you guys on the next one. What are you here to create? You want to create, what do you want? I know what I want to create, but I want to hear more about what you guys want to create. Love you. Catch you on the next one.